to tell you the figure because we're still with finalists, but it goes into it's more than $10 million.
Okay.
The figure, because we're still negotiating and there's other commitments that have been made, but it's more than, I think it will probably come to about 18 million.
Okay.
So this facility will be given to, at the moment, there are 3 companies, I don't have their names, that have been selected who have the capacity to produce certain equipment that is required by the mining industry, particularly for use by small-scale miners.
Okay.
So rather than import this equipment, we capacitate local producers, and the money is for them to retool, re-equip, and be able now to go into production, and this will go into the mining industry.
Okay.
This is really the beginning of probably bigger things to come. But we felt that we are in Bulawayo. The companies that are going to benefit initially are actually in Bulawayo, and we will launch this facility in Bulawayo on the 27th, and this will grow. This, the details are still being worked out, but I'm sure by the 27th we'll have more information as we launch it and give the information both to our industrialists as well as to the media. But we believe that it goes along government extension objective of local procurement, but at the same time facilitating our local producers to be able to source funding and be able to produce what we require locally. So I think it's something that will be received positively by the industrial by the industries in Bulawayo. It's not that it was meant to support SI-64, but I think the SI-64 and this facility, we are talking about the same thing. We would want to source things locally. We would want our businesses, our citizens to buy things that are produced locally. But at the same time, we also have to find ways of supporting our local producers so that they are able to produce. SI-64 was more of trying to give them the support by removing an obstacle in terms of competition and allowing them to retool and re-equip. But at the same time, allowing them to retool and re-equip without giving them the funding, you won't get anyway. So you need funding to be able for them to re-equip and retool. So these two complement each other, and in the end, they also to do with capacitating our industry and also promoting local sourcing and local content. You see, these are companies who have got the potential to produce, but lack the funding to be able to re-equip, retool, get the latest technology. It's the funding that has been lacking. So the issue is give them the funding and let them do what they know best. But in the process, we also empower our local, our small-scale miners to be able to produce efficiently, more efficiently, and also up their game in terms of their production, their quality, etc. And that it serves both sides. This model is more of saying we know there is equipment that we need in the mining sector, but we also know those who have the potential to produce what is required by the mining industry. But what is government doing is now facilitating the funding so that this happens. And obviously, it's a model that we would want to replicate in other areas if we can also identify those in need and those who can supply what is needed, and also whether we can source the funding to do so. But as you know, we already have a facility that is being handled by the Reserve Bank Governor, where there is funding for those companies that have benefited from SI 64 of 2016. They've benefited, but they don't have the funding. And the Reserve Bank Governor has put up a facility to assist those companies that need to retool, to re-equip, so that by the time we say, well, look, we can no longer continue to stop imports from coming, they will be at a point where they can say, look, we can face the wind, we can play the game with anybody, but we need this breathing space where we are giving them the protection, but at the same time give them the funding to retool and re-equip. So we already have a facility organized by the being handled, as I said, administered by the Reserve Bank Governor, but this particular one has got a specific bias towards
these and other stories. Visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.